Hello, welcome to my video. Today I'm gonna show you how you can dual boot Windows and Debian13. So let's just get started. So for starters, I'm gonna grab Wentoy, which is going to be the program that going to let us boot from the disk file that we're gonna download so that we can actually install it. So let's click on the downloads. Also, keep in mind, we're gonna click into the Windows here. Keep in mind that you need an 8 gigs or larger USB drive. So let's just click on the Windows here as well. So I already have it downloaded, so I'm just skipping that part. And then let's just grab Debian itself, the ISO file. So here, yeah, this is the first link. Yes. In here, I'm not gonna click on download straight up. We're gonna click on other downloads. In here, I'm gonna choose this DVD version. This is gonna basically have everything pre-downloaded, so we don't have to download them while in the setup. So it's this one is the one that when I click on this link downloads. I don't want that. I don't want to download everything while in the setup. I just want to download them right now, so I don't want to have to worry about that. So I'm choosing this DVD one. Of course, if you want, you can choose the net install as well. So we're gonna click on that as well. I already downloaded this as well. So okay, so that's it. What we need to download. So I'm just gonna close the web browser. In here, I put them in the downloads folder. So let's just drag them outside to the desktop. Okay. So for starters, we're going to open up Wentoy. So let's extract this. Okay, let it extract. There you go. So as you can see, I already have my USB drive here. So I'm going to open the program to format it so that we can actually boot from the ISO files. So, okay, let's open. Okay, there's the program that we want. So we have to do some configurations here. Click on the options, select here GPT. And this is, if you want, you don't have to change this, but I'm changing this to NTFS. So that's it. So here, let's just click on the install button, click yes, and yes. This is just gonna make the USB drive bootable, so just let this sit. So we're just gonna drag this into the USB drive WinToy folder, and it's gonna make it bootable. So okay, it's almost finished. So as you can see, we have this USB drive. It's gonna turn into WinToy for a second here. Okay, there it is. It shows up. And as you can see, it's just finished. Well, not finished, but it's almost done. Okay, there it is. Now it's finished. Okay. So let's just close that. Now, what we need to do is just drag this Debian ISO, copy it, and just paste it inside here. So just let this copy. While this is copying, I'm gonna shrink the Windows partition so that we can actually install Linux there. Of course, we can do this while we're in the Linux system, but I just prefer to do it in the Windows part so that if something goes wrong, it will be less likely that something will go wrong. That's what I'm trying to say. So click on this disk management here. Also, this would transfer while we're doing this. So this is our Windows drive. So we're just gonna shrink this. Okay. Okay, this looks good for me. It's basically going to leave no space for Windows. Well, I guess it leaves, yeah, it's almost 50-50. Okay, so that's finished. So we're gonna let this complete and we'll be back. Okay, it's finished. So let's just reboot into the ISO. So while it's restarting, I'm going to push the exit key. This is going to trigger the boot options. So it could be different in your computer, of course. So in here, we're gonna select the USB drive here. And here, as you can see, the Debian ISO, just gonna click enter and then enter again. In here, we are going to choose the advanced installer since we do going to change some other options. So in here, you're gonna go advanced options and graphical expert install. There. So it's just gonna boot in a minute. Uh, it's gonna be actually not that difficult, but the menus look difficult, if you get what I'm saying. As you can see, it's booting. Okay, that started. So let's just, for starters, choose our language. So continue. English is good. Choose our location. Okay. There. Okay, continue. I'm gonna add another locale. So let me see. Okay, that one. Continue. Continue. Okay, we don't want braille display, speech recognition. The keyboard, so let's configure that. American English, okay. Okay, let's now detect our installation media. This is gonna basically detect the part where the programs and stuff is installed, so let that do its thing. Okay, as you can see, it's detected, so let's just continue. Load the components. We don't really need any of these extra components, we're just gonna continue. As you can see, the first part of the setup is insanely easy, but there's so much steps because we selected the expert, but I mean, we need the expert settings. So even if there's like one setting for the expert, we just have to use the expert, you know. Okay, let's configure our network. Auto configure, yes, of course. 3 seconds is okay. Okay, host name Debian. Okay, that's fine for me. We can leave this blank, so I'm just gonna continue. Now let's set up our passwords. In here, I don't want the root user to exist, so I'm just gonna click no. Our local user is just gonna have root permissions. It's just gonna add it into the sudoers file. So let's just put up our name, continue. Okay, continue. So our current user that we're just creating right now is gonna have root permissions. So instead of just having a root user, you get the idea. Let's continue now. Yeah. Of course, also create a better password than that. So let's, okay, that looks good. Continue. Okay, continue. Selected our current location. And now this is where things gonna get interesting. This is the partitioning part. So, okay, yeah, here, partition disk. So this is gonna show up. This is where you have to pay attention. The first steps were just really basic stuff, but here is when things gonna get a little tricky. But I'm gonna walk you through it. So in here, we're gonna select manual, continue. Here in here, for starters, we're gonna find our free space. In here, this is our USB drive. This is our real partition where our Windows and our new Linux partition is going to be. So in here, as you can see, there's a free space that I did back in Windows. So we're just gonna select that and click on continue. Yes, we want to create a new partition. So for starters, I'm going to create a 1 gig drive, a 1 gig partition, not drive, which is going to be our boot partition. You can make it smaller than that. I'm just make it 1 gig. It doesn't really matter. Just don't make it smaller than like 100 megabytes, and you would be good. Okay, so in here we're gonna say use as, double click on that, and in here UEFI partition. Select that and bootable flag, turn that on. Okay, so I'm just gonna select, I'm done setting up this partition, continue. Okay, as you can see, our boot partition is finished. After that, we're gonna select this free space again. As you can see, it's now a little smaller. And click continue. We're gonna now utilize all of this space. So just gonna straight up continue. After that, I'm just gonna choose the LVM partition here. Since we're gonna put everything into the LVM partition and gonna have separate boot and home. No, not boot and home. Root and home partitions. So okay, let that done. Okay, that's finished. So after that, I'm gonna click on this configure logical volume manager. So continue. Now in here, it's actually going to format your drive. So keep that in mind. This is going to be the part where you can't just abort the settings and just move on. This is gonna actually modify your drive. So keep that in mind. So let's just click yes. And it formatted our drive. So here we're gonna create a new volume group. And I'm just gonna call it system, since this is the system. Oh, wait. There, system. So let's just continue. Now in here we have to select our LVM drive. So this is the one. I can see it from the space, but you have to also, like, if you remember that this is the drive that we had, it NVMe P6. So that's what identifies that. So let's just continue that. Okay, as you can see, our volume group happens to be created. Let's see the details. As you can see, the system volume group is here. So let's just create logical volumes. So there, click next, select system. So for starters, I'm gonna create the swap. The order doesn't really matter how you do this. I just prefer to create the swap first. I'm gonna give it like 5 gigs. It depends on how much RAM that you have. You can change it the way you're liking. As you can see, my drive is really small, so I'm just kind of putting these up random, except the boot. And yeah, that the boot is what I would be doing in my own system, but the others are just small because of the drive that I created in the virtual machine is just small. So after that, let's make our home partition. Okay, let's give it like 10 gigs. As you can see, I might have like given it 100 gigs if it was my normal drive system. So let's create another logical volume. That's the last one. Name it root. Continue. I'm just gonna give it the rest of the space. Okay, now let it finish. So we're still not done yet, but we're really close to it. The tricky part is over. So here, now we have to select each not drive partition, and click continue on them, and we're gonna specify what we're going to do with them. So it says do not use. We're gonna double click on that and select swap because we named it swap, and this is where the swap should be. After that, as you can see in here is root, so we're gonna select it and use as. We're gonna select ext4 here. Of course, you can try out different ones like Butterfest if you want. I'm just going with ext4 here. After that, let's select root file system. By the way, you could resize the home partition or the root partition the way you're liking. Oh, I clicked the wrong. Just select dump partition after you install it. So that's the cool part about setting this up with LVM. It makes you like, oh, I have a separate home partition, but I might want to change the size of it with the roots, we can do that. Okay, 10 gig one is the home partition, also ext4, and the mount point is going to be home, so let's select that. Continue, continue, and oh wait, I selected the wrong thing. There we go. Okay, everything looks good. Done setting up the partition. Okay, so let me see. It looks like everything's fine. So in the end of this list, there's finish partitioning and write changes to the disk. We're just gonna select that. In here, we're gonna select yes and continue again. It's now starting to partition it, and now it's gonna install the base system, which is going to be like the base components. It's not like the desktop environment or anything. So just let this do its thing. Okay, that's just finished. After that, let's select our kernel, continue again. After this, we also don't really have to do much. We're just gonna click continue and continue, and that's kind of it. I mean, as you can see, the main partitioning part after that and before that, everything's kind of simple, but the UI is pretty damn old, I guess. That's why it's weird, I guess. And it's also for servers mostly, so that's why we're kind of clicking next, next in a lot of parts, but in a normal situation, if we were using it like for servers, we might be configuring that in a lot different way. So, okay, that's finished. Let's configure the package manager. In here, we're gonna select a mirror, because if you don't select a mirror, it will just put the DVD image as an source for using APT, and we won't have any other source, and that you can see the problem with that. So let's continue. Okay, let's do that. Next. Okay, we can leave this blank. Okay, that's finished. Okay, do we have non-free software? Yes. And yes, again. And enable sources for APT. I don't really think that's necessary, so I'm just gonna click no. If you want sources, you can have it. I just want to make the APT faster, so, and that's what it says. It's just gonna make APT a little bit faster, since it's not gonna look for those stuff. You can turn them on afterwards if you want. Okay, that's done. Let's just select backports. This basically gives you newer software in your older Debian. Of course, we're not gonna have much newer software in this version currently, because this is just released like 2 or 1 day ago, so yeah, Debian13 is quite new right now. Okay, and now let's select our desktop environment. Okay, let this do its thing. Okay, we don't want that, so automatically do it. That. We don't want to go into the survey. There's no reason to use the survey right now. I mean, we're not going to use it literally in this setup. At least me. You might be using it. I'm not saying for you. Okay, so in here, you could select XFC, GNOME, or Cinnamon or KDE and Mate, but I don't recommend LXD. It's not that updated anymore. You can use LXQt instead. Let's just go for the flagship version of desktop now. I do recommend, if you want to have like a Windows-like experience, use KDE. And GNOME is pretty good too. So let's just continue now. Although the GNOME is like the most resource hungry one, and KDE is also, but like GNOME is the most one. Keep that in mind. If you're going to install for like a lightweight system, go for XFC, or if your system is even older, just go for LXD. Okay, now let's install our bootloader. Okay, in here, let me see. Yeah, we're gonna select no to that. And VRAM, yes, we want that. Okay, now it's installing. It's going to also detect other OSs. Oh, yeah, I already did that. Yeah, as you can see, it detected our Windows system, so it also checked this box. So we're gonna continue. So we can just select Windows when we're booting up if we want to boot up into Windows. If we want, we will select our Debian install. It's gonna be easy. It just already did it for us. Okay, and that's it. Almost. We're going to do some extra configuration after we boot up into the system. But yeah, that's basically it for Debian installation. Yeah, I mean, I'm really. This is the weather is really hot right now. My brain is fried right now. If everything that I'm saying is all over the place, that's why. Sorry for that. So okay, let this finish as well, and then I'm gonna show you the bootloader, and I'm gonna also give it like the extra steps that has to be done after install. Oh, okay, okay. Let this, yeah, say no, continue, and okay, it's finished. So let's just continue and finally reboot into our new Debian install. Okay. And as you can see, it shows us the Windows Boot Manager and Debian. We're gonna select Debian. And as you can see, we're booted in. Let's write our super insanely secure password. And as you can see, well, let's skip the tour. We booted into Debian. Let me just fix the resolution here. Let me just select 1080p and make this fonts a little larger. Okay, there you go. That's better. So now after this, as you can see, we got like the full working Debian install. In here, as you can see, it works. So let me just show you the last step that I have to show you, I guess. So in here, let me just change. I'm just saying the same words over and over again. Okay, that's make it dark. Okay, here, let me change there. In here, we're gonna remove the DVD drives leftovers for some reason, but they added into the system, so let's just get rid of those. Just type what I'm typing, I guess. Here we're going and go to the etc fs tab. If you use the net install, this won't be an issue, but if you choose the DVD like me, we just have to delete this part. Okay, let me see. Oh, it's gone now. Is it? Okay, so there is no DVD, so that's great. There was a DVD that was mounted sometimes, so as you can see, there's no one, so that's great. There's nothing here. Let me just see. There's also one more thing. So if we update, say sudo apt update, okay. Okay, so there is no extra additional components. Okay, good. Sometimes it also adds the DVD as well, so that it could cause problems sometimes. But as you can see, there was nothing about that. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Let me just reboot into the Windows as well. But yeah, that's basically it for the setup. Let me just show you Windows as well. Yeah, Windows is also booting. So yeah, thanks for watching.